But I do want to bring this back to fighting because this relates to me deeply. Because, like I said, I grew up in the Black nationalist community, but I was never really at home until I found the fight community. And the beauty of that was that if anybody knows anything about jujitsu, MMA, once you're on the mats, all that stuff goes away. All that stuff about race, creed, sexuality, all this stuff goes out the way. Even if some people leave the gym and get back to their ignorance, when they're in the gym, it disappears. And you'll see it at the highest level, even in MMA, even in fighters. They will actively attack each other. They'll get racial, they'll get all types of stuff. But after they duke it out, they hug each other. So it's like I'm sort of in a blessed position where I've seen the end result. So all of this is sort of like a precursor to what I see. But on the other hand, being a fighter, I've understood that this takes on a responsibility. You know, we're special, we're unique. We are the very few that go to the extreme and to be great. But that greatness can't be for yourself. That greatness has to be given to others. That's why, and this is going to be huge controversial. That's why I have a problem with this whole 3% mentality. It's like it's a half truth. It's like, yeah, it's only a few handful of people that are going to make it and be great, but why? If you're going to be great for yourself, then that isn't in service to anybody, and that will actually be your downfall. If you be great so that you can be great for others, inspiration to others, and actually put yourself in the line of fire, actually help other people with your 3%ness, then that's a difference. That's the difference. So for me personally, I'm discovering ways where I can use my platform, my personal pull, my power that comes from me being a media person and a mixed martial artist. How can I do that uniquely? I don't really fit in with the crowd. That's something that when you stand high like these fighters, you stand in the spotlight, you don't fit in with the crowd. So you can't do things like everybody else. So you have to find your individual contribution. So that's what I'm on the journey to. That's how this has changed me. It's like, okay, now I'm special for a reason, not just to be a world champion. I'm special to help other people. So let me figure out how to do that.
So I'm just going to try to maybe if I could summarize that is that basically what you're advocating is we bulldoze Congress and Senate and install a humongous mat room.
No, well, no. We give everybody MMA gloves. They punch each other and hug each other. They'll cross the line
Yeah.
right there. Not.
So I was just talking something real quick.
Yeah.
So, and I've only been in this just slightly longer than you, but I came from a time when this was a very white sport. Jiu-jitsu, was different than boxing. You get into boxing, you get your $40 USA boxing card each year, a pair of gloves, a mouth guard, and whatever. And sometimes, the gym would have that stuff. This is generally due to economics and African Americans not having generally the same opportunities or the same, I hate the word birthright, but the birth privilege of coming into, being born into a certain economic bracket. It was a very white sport at first, even though you still had as Muhammad Ali, the two black people in the ring beating each other up for the entertainment of white people,
Yeah,
as
that's
he
true.
described boxing in the '60s.
Well, even
Changed.
yeah, just for a detour, even
Yeah.
that was the controversy with the Gracies. Like in Brazil, they would cater to the richer, often fairer skin, and then the darker skin had to go to like luta libre and the fada and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yes, I agree with you.
So how just maybe because it's hard to talk about anything national, but how have you seen sort of as the arts progressed or just aged? What sort of changes have you seen locally in the local fight community, the DMV area?
Yeah, that's interesting because I mean, of course, like anything else, it's cliquish. You know, you got your gems and you got your lineage and all that stuff. But those cliques aren't necessarily related to race and class and all that things. Which is we were talking about the 3% thing. That's why, of course, if you talk about that, you talk about Lloyd Irvin. I actually appreciate a big part of that school that a lot of people don't talk about. That school services the black community. That school makes world champions out of little black boys and little black girls.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the story. That's the thing. That's what I saw, but that's not the story. The story is that these are just individual clubs that actually can mold in melting pots of all different people and all different styles and all different groups of people like that. So I've seen it in the short time that I've seen it. It's never been an issue. It's always been an escape from that stuff. People go to the
That's
gym to
awesome.
escape. Yeah, people go to the gym to escape their job, their families, their crappy lives, and to escape race, class, religion, all that stuff. And that's something that's why I want everybody to get into martial arts, amongst many other things. It's like my girlfriend, for instance, I'm not going to put her on a blast. I'm not going to tell you where they are. She went to a jujitsu gym. Day one, she found a new family, and it's like, where else can you find that? You know, so
Yeah.
that's what I've seen.
And it's interesting. You say it's escapism, but it's escapism doing something that can give you both the mental and physical fortitude to confront and deal with the very real difficulties of the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the disconnect, and that's what I'm battling in myself right now. Seeing this, you asked me my personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing this and saying, how can I take all the skills I learned in the gym? How can I take that getting through hard times? How can I take through shining above the rest? How can I take that survival when it's hard and apply that outside of the gym? I've done that in my job. I've done that in my relationships. How can I do that in my community? And that's the challenge that I have to fighters. If you know how to fight, if you know how to take yourself to the limit, and you don't know how to use that to help others, then you're doing your community a disservice. And that's to myself too. So that's what I'm doing.